Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. Tony and Emmy Award winner John Lithgow is back on Broadway at Roundabout Theatre Company's American Airlines Theatre with his new one-man show called John Lithgow, Stories by Heart, directed by Daniel Sullivan. And we caught up with John just minutes after his opening night curtain rang down.
Once his summer festivals got rolling in the early 1950s, my father produced every single one of Shakespeare's plays. Not just the big famous ones, but plays like King John, Two Noble Kinsmen, Titus Andronicus, that's one where the queen is tricked into eating meat pies made out of her own two dead sons. I saw that one when I was about 8 years old.
Well, first of all, welcome back to Broadway.
Thank you. I feel welcome.
How does it feel being back?
Well, this is an unusual one, just because it's been such a long history with this show, and it's only me. I mean, it's like the closest I've come to a Bruce Springsteen concert, you know? It was wonderful. And this is a great organization. Roundabout has just solved all the problems of making things work on Broadway. It's really been a happy time.
You know, how did this all come about for you to do originally, put this whole evening together?
I actually tell the story of the inciting moment. It was a moment with my parents where I read them a very, very funny story that my dad had read to me and my siblings when we were little kids, so little that I'd forgotten the story. But I rediscovered it as I read it to my old dad, and it just so completely entertained him. It was kind of an epiphany for me. I sort of saw in that moment, kind of in retrospect, after it had passed, that was why I'm an actor. I mean, it's giving people the gift of entertainment, just sort of stirring something in them.
See, I didn't know the history of your dad, so sitting through this show of what he did and what he gave all of you growing up was so fascinating, the way you weave that all into this.
Yeah, well, that's another thing about the show, which I absolutely love. I feel like such a lucky actor that I can give this tribute to him.
He read them to us from this book. We would pick the stories, and he would read them out loud, performing all the parts full out. When I hold it in my hands now, my father comes back.
So what are you enjoying the most about doing this on Broadway here at Roundabout?
Well, there's a wonderful sense of completion about it. I've always thought eventually I want to do it in a wonderful venue on Broadway. And I never felt it was just right. I've been tinkering and tinkering. So this was a kind of leap of faith. But bringing Dan aboard and working for really, 2 weeks of rehearsal for something you've been already performing for this long, it was creative all over again.
My final question is, when you took your bow tonight, back on Broadway, do you remember what you were thinking?
Well, I was thinking about both my sons who were in the audience, and I was thinking about my dad and my mom. Yeah.
What a beautiful homage to your dad and your mom you do in the show.
I'm a lucky man.